Okay, so Facebook. Social networking and marketing is very different in that the goal is to build relationships with people, have them become customers, and spread the word to their friends and network, like news of a great book. And I always hold up my book now. But that is really the difference. It used to be, sales was just about getting someone to sign the dotted line. Well, it's completely changed now. You can't do that anymore because one person, the average person on Facebook has 200 friends. So that means one person has 200 friends. Their 200 friends have 200 friends. That's 40,000 people instantly from one person saying something. And if someone's ticked off about something, they tell 12 people. If they're happy, you're lucky if they tell a couple. But if they're ticked off, they'll tell 12. So you've got 12 times 40,000. You're looking at 500,000 people finding out just like that. So it's completely different. I don't know if I have time for this story. When I was in my 20s, I was losing my hair. Shock. And I was also in the mortgage business, and I was making incredible money. So I was like, well, hey, Captain Kirk wears a hairpiece. I'm going to go check it out. So I went and met with a doctor first, and I said, all right, what would it cost me to do a transplant? The bill's over there. What would it cost me to do the transplant thing? And so I meet with the doctor, and he's like, well, and it was going to be like 10 or 12 grand. And I said, okay, well, give me best case and worst case. He says, okay, well, best case is, it'll take. And I said, and I'll look like a doll, right? And he goes, no, we can make it so we add more hair and it looks good. I said, all right, well, what's worst case? He said, well, worst case is we'll put the hair in and it won't take. And then you'll have scars all over your head. And you'll have to wear a hairpiece for the rest of your life. I'm like, I'll pass. I'll wait till the technology gets better. So then I leave. Well then, like I said, Captain Kirk, hairpiece. So I go to this company. I walk in, beautiful secretary at the desk and everything. And I go in and I said, yeah, I'd like to talk to somebody about what you guys have here. So she puts me in this room. So I go in the room. This salesman walks in, just a freaking liar. He walks in and he goes, hey, when we start talking, and I said, yeah, I'm here to see about your hair pieces. And he goes, oh, no, they're not hair pieces. I'm like, what? He goes, it's a hair system. That sounds better already. And then he says, you still really have a lot of hair. And I have about as much as I have now. I said, yeah, you're right. And he goes, so what we do is we have a mat that we create, and it goes on your head, and we pull your hair through the mat. So we only put hair where you're missing it. And I'm like, oh, all right, well, that doesn't sound so bad. And he goes, and then if other hair falls out, then we can just add more hair. And, and I'm like, okay, well, that sounds pretty good. I said, all right, well, give me 2 of them. And he goes, what? I said, well, I want to make sure that there's always one that's here good, and I'll wear one. I don't have time to come in and have you guys mess with it, so I'll just swing in and swap it out. I'll take 2. Yes. And so he goes, okay. So I leave. I come back a month later, right? It's ready. I come back a month later. I walk in, and I'm sitting in the room again. If I did, I wouldn't show you. And I'm in the room again, and probably online, if you search, put a Google alert, Denny's hairpiece, you'll have all kinds of stuff. And I walk in, I'm sitting in the room, and this gal walks in with a can of shaving cream and a razor. And I go, hey, can I help you? She goes, yeah, I'm here to shave your head. I go, oh, no, you're in the wrong room. Go, I got the hair system, the one where they pull the hair through, and she goes, oh, you need to talk to your salesperson. I'll be right back. And right then I knew I'd been had. And I was like, So she leaves. So then she comes back in 10 minutes later, and she goes, I'm sorry, your salesperson's on vacation. And I'm like, really? Did he just leave, like 2 minutes ago, out the back door? And then I said, man, your job must suck. And these guys got people up like this, and and I'd spent a lot of money, so I'm like, all right, fine, just do it, whatever you got to do. So she did the whole thing. I put this rat, and then there's the stories in my book, and the name of the chapter is Brownie the Rat. And so I put this rat on my head, and I leave. And I'm going to my parents' house first thing to show them, because I haven't told anybody, and I stopped to get some beer. I needed to slam a few beers on the way to my parents' house. So I go to 7-Eleven, and I throw the half-rack of beer on the counter, and I hadn't been carded in like 5 years.
No.
And the 7-Eleven guy goes, yeah, I'd like to see some ID. And I go, ID? I go, no, I'm not writing a check. And I forgot all about it. And he goes, no, I need to make sure you're 21. And I'm like, no way. So I take my ID out, but I was bald in my ID. So he goes, this is the worst fake ID I've ever seen. I go, no, dude, it's me. And I'm pulling the thing to the side. No, man. He's like, wow, it looks real. I go, yeah, thanks. Can I get the beer? So he sold me the beer. I get to my parents' house. My dad opens the door to the door, you know. I knock, he opens it, he looks at me, and he goes, yeah? Dad, it's me. So there's a couple things that he also forgot to tell me. One, if you're in direct sunlight for more than an hour, it turns orange. Yeah, like horsehair.
Oh, no.
Another thing that I found interesting was if you go in salt water and you don't immediately rinse with fresh water, it melts. There's a couple things that would have been nice to know. So, I don't know if these things must have cost them like $1.50 a piece or something. So I wore it for 6 months, and then I was on a flight to Maui to help a mortgage company get started there. And I love to just jump in the ocean, scuba dive, you know, and I'm thinking, God, I get to Maui, I gotta wear a hat the whole time. Can't go in the salt water. I'm thinking, BS. So I went into the bathroom on the plane, just ripped the thing off my head and put it in my briefcase. So I get off the plane in Hawaii, and they had like a couple loan officers there to pick me up from the company I was going to help. A couple LOs were there, and they're holding a sign that says Denny Andrews, right? Well, I had all of my marketing materials sent over ahead of time with my picture on everything, with Brownie the rat on. So I go walking by him holding the sign that says Denny Andrews. I walk right by him, they don't even recognize me. So I back up, I go, who's that? I go, it sounds like a, swear word. That guy sounds like a real... And the kid looks at me and he goes, oh, no, he's this loan officer from the mainland. He's here to help us. And he starts to go off. I go, no, relax. I go, no, that's me. And he was so cool because he looked at me. He's probably 20. He looks at me and he goes, you know, you look a lot younger in your pictures. I said, yeah, I had a little bout with insecurity, but that's long since over. But anyway, the point of the story is that if that had happened now, I would have posted that stuff on everywhere, and those guys would have been out of business. Nobody would ever go to them again, because I've got like 700 friends. All of them have 200. It would have been, you know, a couple of 100,000 people all over the area. That, and plus, I probably would have even done more than that. You know, like made a bald blog or something. But so you can't get away with that kind of stuff anymore.